Good morning. Our topic for today is Gestal Principle, Parts of a Whole. I'm Alma Aximoso, Master Teacher 1 of Humanities and Social Sciences. Our subject, Trends, Networks, and Critical Thinking in the 21st Century. After this lesson, you will be able to understand the emergence of trends and patterns, and you will be able to derive an idea from instances and present this idea through an artwork and the creation of product by identifying parts of a whole. To begin with, understanding of life begins with the understanding of patterns, according to Fritjof Capra. We use shapes, curves, and lines in creating designs. Circles, triangles, rectangles, cylinders, lines, curves, and other designs. What do you see in this picture?
Good morning, ma'am. So, dun po sa question na nakita ko po kanina, it's a shape of circle na pinapalibutan po ng kulay yellow and also kulay blue po. So, ayun lang, ma'am. Thank you.
What do you also see in this picture, in this Christmas light?
Good morning, ma'am. So, in this picture po, makikita po natin dito yung Christmas lights hose na shape to Merry Christmas word, and it also has a different colors that blink in the word. Yun lang po. Thank you po.
And that is pattern. Patterns can be used as a template that will enable us to quickly analyze a situation and understand how it works. It offers visual clues to an underlying order, and if you can unlock a pattern, then you can alter or reshape it in order to achieve some effect. So from your analysis, we study the wholes from their parts. So our mind is creating an image that interprets it as a whole and not as two circles. Nakita nyo na ito ay isang gulong, o nakita itong isang donut, o nakita itong isang letter O. Our mind is playing a trick in interpreting group similar patterns to a single image that can all be related to one image. Our brain adjusts and bridges the gap to be able to distinguish what people see, hear, and as well as touch. Then, why are you buying a certain product? What do you consider in choosing it? Do you think that both of you or your classmate will choose the same product or design? Then why? Take into consideration the integration of your economics. Why you are buying a certain product? Maybe because of its designs, price, trends and fads, culture, tastes and preferences, and of course, the quality. From our previous lesson, we talk about fads. So we see that those are quick spreading and short-lived products. For example, the fidget spinner, the curtains, the hairdress, the hairstyles, designs, the Candy Crush, or the Facebook, the Instagram. Can we use these patterns in everyday lives? Yes, of course. A perfect example is the logic patterns that helps us to classify the similar objects, while the number patterns can help us predict the sequence. The word patterns can also help us in the sense of language and to serve as a strategy in spelling. The repeating patterns can be found in nature and everyday lives. A pattern is a set of data that follows a recognizable form, which analysts then attempt to find the current data. It also identifies the patterns and trends that are techniques used by the analyst in studying the supply and demand of products in a market or in a global competition. What is Gestalt? It is a German word from the unified whole. The Gestalt principles are a set of laws arising in the 1920s psychology. It describes how humans typically see objects by grouping similar of elements, recognizing patterns, and simplifying complex images. It also enables individuals to create an organized whole using 90% of your judgment from the brain and the 10% from your eyes. According to the German psychologists Max Wertheimer, Kurt Koffel, and Wolfgang Kohler, created the principles of grouping through perceptions. So the gestalt effect is a capability of our brain to generate whole forms, particularly with respect to the visual recognition of global figures, instead of just collections of simpler and unrelated elements of points, lines, curves, and other designs. So the concept of creating products came from the principles used by the designers. So the concept makers create a fad in the market. The innovations using the optical illusions in creating powerful products through creativity and artistry. The experts believes that the brain enhances the whole forms pertinent to the visual recognition of lines, curves, and points, and other shapes. The designers use this to engage the powerful yet natural tricks of perspective and best examples and best practice design standards. So these are the examples of the principles of gestalt designs that was created by the German psychologists. Proximity, similarity, enclosure, symmetry, closure, continuity, connection, figure, and ground. So they created other designs in connecting those basic shapes and figures. So creating the gestalt principles. So here are the examples of those designs that was created in connecting those different simple designs from the gestalt principles. The similar patterns of circles, the creating of different shapes and lines that was created using the gestalt principles into another product by innovations. So the next part of our activity is Arts Mo, Ganda Ko. So in our objective, we said that you're going to use your craftsmanship or artistry in this activity. So you are going to make your own product and create your own design through an artwork using the gestalt principle of designs. You can create cards, novelty items, bag designs, wall designs, t-shirt printing, or box. Presentation of work. So you're going to answer the following questions. What gestalt principles design did you use in your product or any other combinations? How did you come up with that design? Then explain your product. Who will benefit from this product? Did the gestalt design help in the emergence of patterns and trends? Then why? How it will affect the culture and the decision making in creating designs? And what did you learn in this activity? The rubrics in scoring, the categories in creativity, time management, craftsmanship, and the attitude. Score of 4 for the expert, 3 for competent, 2 for novice, and 1 for the needs improvement. In presenting your paper, you're going to give your summary and conclusion. So what is your learning from this activity in the presentation of work? Of course, and then what value can you integrate in this type of activity? So based from our work and activity, gestal principles are used to create fads in the market that can be transformed into a trend and later providing branding from such creation. Also, parts of every creation has its essence to make it whole. Appreciation of arts and design is from the interpretation of our mind by grouping and recognizing patterns of images that makes it a whole. So, for further enhancement activities, please see the picture analysis for the public Picasso painting. So, in your analysis, you're going to describe the painting from your interpretation. What significance did you find in the painting? Of course, you're going to tackle about his era and his motivation in making this painting. Then, associate the painting in the gestal principle. So, the whole is more than the sum of its parts, according to Aristotle. So, from our activity and this lesson, we have learned that the sum or the parts of the designs makes it another design, and that is the whole part of the design. And we call that the innovation. Thank you and good morning.